We have never spoken more, and we have never listened less. Just think about it for a second. Voice notes, comments, tweets, messages, meetings, opinions. Words everywhere, all the time. And yet, how often do we walk away from conversations, feeling like nobody really heard us, or like we didn't really reach the other person? I'm your host Sonia, and this is The Open Page. In our last episode, we talked about conversations as something deeply human, something that builds communities, shapes character, and slowly changes us. Today, I want to take the idea one step further and ask a slightly uncomfortable question. What happens when we don't just lose conversation, but we lose the ability to listen? Now, what is the crisis of listening? Let's be honest. Our age loves speed, quick replies, instant reactions, hot takes. But real conversation has always asked for something much harder: attention. Listening isn't passive. It's not easy. It takes patience, it takes humility, and sometimes it takes the courage to admit, maybe I'm wrong. And that's probably why real listening is so rare. Most of us don't listen to understand. We listen while preparing our reply. And this is where literature becomes really interesting, because novels have always known something we are slowly forgetting. Conversation isn't just social, it's moral. Think about Pride and Prejudice that we discussed in our last episode. Elizabeth Bennet and Darcy don't change because some big dramatic event was there. They change because slowly and painfully they are forced to re-listen to stories, to explanations, to versions of each other they had already decided were wrong. They don't grow because they speak better. They grow because they listen better. Similarly, in the Russian writer Maxim Gorky's work, The Lower Depths, people speak from the very edges of society. Characters talk not to impress, but to survive, to assert their humanity in conditions that deny it. Their words are messy, desperate, sometimes ugly, but to be heard even for a moment is to be treated as human. There, listening isn't politeness, it's survival. Gorky shows us that to speak and to heard is to exist. In Bapti Sidhwa's Cracking India, conversation becomes a way of remembering what official history wants to erase. To listen in that world is to refuse forgetting. And in Bano Kutsia's Rajagit, silence itself starts to mean something. People don't always fail because they speak too little. They fail because they refuse to hear uncomfortable truths about themselves. Now, in digital life and performative talk, what happens? Let's look at us. Today, a lot of conversation is public and performative and strategic. We speak to be seen, we speak to win, we speak to signal that we belong. But who is actually listening? Social media has turned dialogue into parallel monologues. Everyone is talking, very few people are changing. And when conversation loses the power to change us, it loses something essential. So what we have lost? Think about older forms of togetherness. Long tea conversations, family storytelling, sitting quietly with elders, even silence shared in the same room. None of this was efficient, but it was formative. It taught us how to stay with a thought, with a person, with the little discomfort. It taught us how to be present. And why this is an ethical problem? This is why the loss of listening isn't just a social problem, it's a moral one. Because when we stop listening, we stop recognizing complexity, we stop allowing people to change, and slowly we stop allowing ourselves to change. And a society that cannot listen becomes a society that can only polarize, simplify, and harden. We have to relearn the art. So what does it mean to relearn conversation? Maybe it means letting someone finish even when we disagree, allowing a little silence, not turning every exchange into performance, listening not to defeat but to understand. Conversation isn't a battlefield, it's a shared human space. Maybe the most radical act today isn't speaking, maybe it's listening generously. Because when we really listen, we don't just receive words, we receive another human being. And in doing that, we begin to rebuild something fragile, slow, and deeply necessary. The possibility of being human together. Let's have genuine conversations because the page remains open.